Good day, Zimbabweans. I just want to share with you some breaking news with regard to Mugabe and ZANU-PF government appearing before the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva this coming week. Zimbabwe has been invited to Geneva to defend its human rights record. The first review after the 2011. The first review was in 2011. Again, you remember that it was before the new constitution. So this week, Mugabe himself is not going to travel to Geneva, Switzerland, but VP Mnangagwa will represent Robert Mugabe before the United Nations Human Rights Council. High on the agenda will be for the government to defend its human rights record, especially with regards to the various arrests, torture, police brutality against the demonstrating citizens and activists. So this is an opportunity for human rights watchdogs in Zimbabwe to make an audited report that you can present to the United Nations in Geneva this coming week, which is the first week of November. The ZANU-PF government, high-powered delegation led by Mnangagwa, will be in Switzerland defending their human rights record. It is believed that VP Mnangagwa will argue that after the new constitution of 2013, Zimbabwe has now a Bill of Rights, which is the best in Southern Africa. So they will argue on that basis that the human rights have improved in Zimbabwe since 2011, when it was reviewed. They will also argue that Zimbabwe is now tolerating freedom of expression, and they will also argue that it is now tolerating freedom of expression and freedom of association. But you and me know very well that of late so many people have been arrested, and as I speak, so many people languish in jails for crimes that they did not commit, basically by merely expressing their own views. They've been arrested. Here is the government going to UN Geneva Human Rights Council, where they are going to portray as they are a government championing human rights. So I hope and trust that the Zimbabweans in Switzerland will also take part. Of course, they won't be able to take part directly in the discussions, but if they can show solidarity with the people of Zimbabwe who have been arrested, incarcerated, by demonstrating against the high-powered delegation led by VP Mnangagwa. There is also another disturbing fact on the human rights side of Zimbabwe, that up to now, the Zimbabwean government have not ratified the Convention against torture. So it is likely to argue that it cannot be held responsible for violating a convention which they have not ratified, which is quite a worry. You would expect that Zimbabwe, having been independent since 1980, and always speaking as a champion of its citizens' rights, should have ratified this convention. Unfortunately not. So we call upon all Zimbabweans to put pressure on the ZANU-PF government to ratify the Convention Against Torture, so that it can be held responsible under the UN body, like the Human Rights Council of the UN. At the moment, there is a gray area because they've not ratified that convention. Now, you might be interested to note as to which countries sit on that Human Rights Council. I'll give you a few of those. There are quite a lot. You might be interested to know that Botswana, our friend Botswana, is on that council. So Mnangagwa will face Botswana there, Bolivia, Belgium, Germany, Ghana, Kenya, Congo, India, Netherlands, Nigeria as well will be on the board quizzing Zimbabwe this week. There's also Switzerland, which is the host country, Togo. Some of them very suspicious as well, like Venezuela, for example, will be part of the committee that will quiz VP Mnangagwa this week. So here is the situation. So this is breaking news for Zimbabweans out there. I thought this is very important that I can convey this to my fellow Zimbabweans so that we can put together reports that we can present to the UN in advance of VP Mnangagwa's team to the UN in Geneva, and also to alert the human rights watchdogs in Zimbabwe, activists and citizens, that here is an opportunity. The government is going to try to deny all the violations of human rights which have been perpetrated against innocent civilians, citizens and activists, and political parties for that matter, that we need to make it very clear and give evidence-based incidences as to why we hold ZANU-PF government in violation of human rights against what they are trying to portray themselves before the UN. And this will be this first week of November. I can see that there are so many people, Zimbabweans, who are watching at this moment. Thank you all, and I'll be presenting a lot of breaking news with regards to human rights, with regard to the politics and economic, social issues within our country, Zimbabwe. Stay tuned until I meet you in the next episode. This is Pfebve. Thank you and goodbye.